Good afternoon, YouTube. Pastor Dave here, October 24th, 2011. This has got to be a very serious video. The Lord has been pushing me in this direction, and I think we have to be very careful. And I think there's a message here that He wants delivered. When we come to Bible prophecy, we have to be very careful. We have to be careful not to anger the one and only true living God who reigns on that throne. We have to not bring Him to anger. We have to be careful with Bible prophecy. A lot is going on in the world, and has been since the beginning of the year. And I brought you the story last night about the IDF, Israeli Defense Force, possibly going to be taking the Vera chip in their hand. And also the United States administration is talking about implanting the Vera chip into 1.4 million American service men and women, troops, and doing away with the metal dog tags. Now we have to look at Bible prophecy in the book of Revelation, and when we go to the Old Testament, we look at the book of Daniel, and with everyone being rapture ready, we're looking at end time prophecy and Daniel's timeline. And I believe that was for the future, for today. And this is what the Lord is laying on me very heavily. Very heavily. I didn't even want to come on here. And I've been putting it off, but He's in charge. And I believe there's a stern message. We have to be very careful when it comes to Bible prophecy. A lot going on in the world today. And Turkey, with the massive earthquake they've experienced, and there are more earthquakes, more tremors. Now, I truly believe, you have to be careful with prophecy, and that's what this video is about. But this could be a warning. Turkey had turned against Israel, and they brought up a year-old dispute over that flotilla, and they demanded Israel apologize. So now Turkey, is it just a coincidence? They're facing this massive earthquake and more quakes, and quakes upon quakes. So I've been a little hesitant, been waiting to bring you this, because the Lord is really pushing me in this direction of being careful with Bible prophecy. We ministers of the gospel, we pastors, we have to be careful. The information we deliver to the flock or to the congregation or to our YouTube viewing audience, that we don't stray and we don't create Bible prophecy, and we have to be very careful. And I believe this is what the Lord is pushing me in this direction. Now, there's a story, I brought you the story the other day, where the birds fell out of the sky mysteriously for no apparent reason. South Carolina. Now we have 6,000 waterfowl, and they did not fall out of the sky. Is it Ontario? And 6,000 more or less, and they're gonna I guess clean it all up today. I'll put the link to the story below. I'm sure you've already heard about this, but this is a little different instance, a little different situation here. They did not fall from the sky. They were eating contaminated mussels with botulism. That's what they suspect. It happened before. And I didn't jump on this to bring you this story, because the Lord is pushing me with this, being careful of what we deliver to our flock, to the congregation, to the YouTube audience. And we've got to be very careful with Bible prophecy. And I'm overwhelmed. I don't know how else nicely to do this, that we have to be careful to not take Bible prophecy that was meant for a time period other than now and make it happen now. And we have to not glorify ourselves as ministers of the gospel. And we can't use prophecy for profit. Talk about a millstone around your neck. We can't bring the Lord, our God, to anger. We have to be very careful. Now, I want to touch on this real quick. With all the birds falling out of the sky, 12 minutes to midnight, and I myself was looking at the Hosea prophecy. But if you study theology, a theologian knows you have to look at prophecy for the time frame and the time period. Let's go to the book of Hosea, because I was looking at the Hosea prophecy that with all the birds and the fish dying. But was it meant for this time period? And this is where the Lord is pushing me today. I've worked midnights and I've been staying awake, but I've been really, He's pushing me to come and bring this message. I believe this. That we got to be careful not to tread on dangerous ground. And I myself was looking at the Hosea prophecy. It sure is lining up. And then it hit me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. And the Lord is pushing me in this direction to deliver this message. Because when we preach the word, the gospel, the word of the living God, we have to be careful. The message we bring to the people. And we don't lead them down the wrong path with the wrong message. And we don't do it to glorify ourselves or to take prophecy for profit. We've got to be very careful. So I wanted everyone to take another look at Hosea. You've got to remember when Hosea, when he had this prophecy, the United States was not as it is today. It was not inhabited with settlers like it is today. That wasn't until Columbus came. It's very difficult for me because I too was looking at the Hosea prophecy and other prophecies with Daniel. But let's go to the book of Hosea real quick, because I have a lot more to bring in today. A lot more that's very disturbing, and a special prayer. Special prayer for a man of the clergy. But the Lord is compelling me, and I apologize. I keep repeating myself, but I'm overpowered. Let's look at the Hosea chapter 4. God's charge against Israel, and that's what the Lord is throwing at me, and throwing at me. Get this word out. And we got to be careful. God's charge against Israel. Ever since He brought them out of slavery, out of Egypt, these are His people. And He's trying to keep them on the narrow path. And He doesn't like it when they stray. Hosea 4, God's charge against Israel. Hear the word of the Lord. This is coming from Hosea. You children of Israel. For the Lord brings a charge against the inhabitants of the land. The inhabitants of the land of Israel, not the United States of America in 2011. I believe the birds falling out of the sky, the fish dying around the world, the earthquake is all end time prophecy signs, but it's not the Hosea prophecy given here. God's charge against Israel. I don't want to lead my viewers astray, and I don't want you to, I don't know how any else to say it. I don't want you to have false prophecy. This was for this time period. This message was for the people of Israel, given by Hosea in chapter 4. God's charge against Israel. And listen very carefully. Hear the word of the Lord, you children of Israel, not of the United States of America or of Italy or of the United Kingdom. For the Lord brings a charge against the inhabitants of the land. There is no truth or mercy or knowledge of God in the land. And that does apply today. But it applied back in this time. It applied in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. And the Lord is working through me now. It applied during the time of the great flood of Noah, just as it applies today. But this prophecy was given for the children of Israel by the one, the only true living God. And we do not want to tread on dangerous ground by bringing out a prophecy that is not meant for this time period, 2011. Listen to it again. God's charge against Israel, not the United States. Hear the word of the Lord, you children of Israel, for the Lord brings a charge against the inhabitants of the land. There is no truth or mercy or knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying, killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break all restraint, and with bloodshed upon bloodshed. Therefore the land will mourn, and everyone who dwells there will waste away with the beasts of the field and the birds of the air. Even the fish of the sea will be taken away. This is a prophecy for that. This is what the Lord is demanding I bring out here for that time period. And we have to be very careful when we bring prophecy to our congregation, our flock, our viewing audience, if it's a YouTube ministry such as this. We have to be very, very careful. At this time, when in Hosea, the United States was not as it is inhabited. We didn't come here yet. It wasn't until Columbus came. Birds are falling out of the sky, fish are dying. I believe it's all end-time Bible prophecy, but it is not the Hosea prophecy. And I believe this is what the Lord is. We don't want to bring him to anger. We've got to be careful on the ground that we walk. I do not want my viewers that follow me. I want to bring them truth and the word, and I don't want to lead you astray. I believe this was for that time period. The lying, the sinning, the committing adultery, blood toucheth blood. Happened in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. It happened all throughout the Old Testament. It was not meant for today. And I truly believe that. We've got to be careful. I'm looking at, now with the death of Gaddafi, and when Bible prophecy for today, because Gaddafi died, Daniel 11. You have to understand theology. You don't have to be a great theologian, but you have to understand that was meant for another time period, the rise and the fall of Alexander the Great, not Gaddafi the Great. We have to be careful, because I think the Lord is getting close to anger. And we, as ministers of the gospel, we have to be very careful. So I just wanted to touch on that, because I fell prey myself. I was looking at the Hosea prophecy like everybody else, and I just don't believe it is meant. I really believe the Lord has touched me, and the Holy Spirit is speaking on this video. Be careful of what you preach to the unknowing. Our viewers, our congregation, our flock, the Lord's flock, our Messiah's sheep. Careful what word we give them, what message we bring to their ears, and be careful not to profit from it. Leave me comments, everybody. Whew, my goodness. Daniel 11 has nothing to do with Gaddafi. The Hosea prophecy was for the children of Israel for that time period. Because like in days past, he brought them out of Egypt. He brought his children out of Egypt, and he's trying to keep them on that narrow path, and sin, adultery. And he had a charge against the children of Israel. Not 2011 in the United States of America. Let me know what you think. I'm just being led by the Holy Spirit with this. God bless everybody. I don't mean to offend anyone. I just don't want to lead. I want to be careful. I want to be careful that I do my Father's work. Honestly, I want to do my Father's work correctly. And I don't want to lead you down a path you shouldn't be on. Wow. Talk about being filled with the Holy Spirit. That's all I can say. There's more I want to bring you, but the Lord wants me to be quiet. So that's my message. God bless. I will be back, because special prayer for a very special man of God, pastor. And you won't believe what's coming out of the Vatican. God bless everybody. Leave me comments. I love you. I love you so much. God bless.